Almost everyone has a smartphone, a TV, a computer, or some sort of technology in their home. So, accessing entertainment and accessing consumer based products and consumer based living is not as hard as you may think it is. Well, it's actually quite simple. The average person who you walk past is primarily a consumer. For them to be a producer, it wouldn't be as difficult as you would think it is. They would simply have to begin with creating. Simply begin with getting out of their head and getting going and putting all the ideas they have into fruition and making it happen. Well, this can look like doing simple things as recording that video and posting it, or drawing that art and sharing it with the world to see. I'm not saying that everything you do should be for others to see or others to know, because sometimes you do want to keep things private with yourself, and everyone's not doing things for the gratification of it or for validation from others. But simply sharing your creativity is a way that you can get out of the loop of consumerism and begin to be a producer, because you're producing things for others to want. And unfortunately, there will be a group of people who will always be consumers for the rest of their lives. So you will benefit from this greatly if you decide to. Getting out of your head looks like deciding to say things that you wouldn't say, or express things you wouldn't normally express, to free yourself and free those things. Because it's not that you don't want to say these things, you just don't know how, or you just don't know why you want to say it. But saying it doesn't have to be so complicated after all. When we're stuck in our heads, oftentimes we have thoughts that are limiting. We tell ourselves that we're not good enough, or we won't be this, or we can't do that, or whatever the case may be. But in fact, everything that you set out for yourself to do can be more possible if you decide to get out of your head and just do it. Most of the times, we have people around us also who contribute to these limiting factors in our head. So, touching grass is essential, because you can get away from these people who have these negative thoughts about themselves, who are projecting them onto you. Or you can just get outside and create your own sense of identity, because really think about it. When's the last time you got a chance to sit out in nature and enjoy the way that the wind is blowing, or enjoy the way that the birds are chirping, or something so simple as enjoy the way that the sky is looking? Have you got a chance to observe if the sky was cloudy, or if it was blank, no clouds at all in the sky? Well, you probably wouldn't know, because you haven't got a chance to get outside in nature. I understand that some people don't have a chance to get out in nature because of your climate, or wherever you're at geographically. It may not be a place where you want to go outside. But outside doesn't have to be physically outside. It could be whatever you decide to make it. It can simply be stepping outside into your living room, or stepping outside in a different area. That's the main idea. It's not about just being physically in nature, just being somewhere where you're able to take a deep breath and grasp the essentials of being successful. Because that's what my main goal is here, is to remind you of why you can be successful, and to remove all negative thoughts you have about yourself. Simply just a follow on Instagram isn't enough anymore. You have to know how to get out in these circles where people are just like yourself, are interested in things that you're interested in, and build a network and learn how to speak with people. However, this is something that can be difficult if you're always in your head. You're always over analyzing every single thing. After a conversation is over, you're analyzing, did I make them feel uncomfortable? Did I say the wrong thing? Did I say the right things? Did they like me? You're wondering about all these things. Well, get out of your head, because these are irrelevant things to think about. It's okay to be aware in social settings and be mindful of who you're around, what you're around, for safety reasons, especially. However, overanalyzing every little keen detail instead of being more present and getting a chance to see whoever is in front of you for who they are, instead of what you're already making up about them in your own head because you're staying there, is something that's important. So try to enjoy talking to new people, enjoy meeting new people, enjoy connecting with more people, instead of just overanalyzing everything and being in your head. I like to think you can change anything around you as long as you have two ideas. Number one, this is temporary, and number two, I will be successful. With these two ideas and with these two thoughts, you can make anything happen. At least I like to believe. But that's where touching grass comes in, because what genuinely do you want? Probably haven't had anybody ask you that in a while. But think about it. What is it that you're wanting? Okay, so a lot of us say money. How much? What do you want to do with this money? Is it just so that you can live a stress-free life and not worrying about where you have to lay your head, where you will get food, where you will get clothes, where you will shower, or even how you will look? Because money is essential to all of these things. But think more in depth. Think past money. Think, what is it that I want to accomplish as a human being, right? What do you want to accomplish as a human being? And not just for your own betterment, for the betterment of others. Because that's how you make a staple here in this world, is you change things by changing yourself. However, by changing yourself, you change things and you change others and circumstances around you. So what is it that you want to accomplish? What is it that you want to do? Because you can do it. What's stopping you essentially? Is it your mom, your dad, your sister, your brother, or your grandma, or your grandpa, your aunt, or your uncle telling you something that's limiting you? Well, this is the funny story, right? These people only know one version of you. They don't know who you are. They don't know who you're becoming. Only you know who you are. Only you know who you're becoming. So when people tell you things, or they don't believe in the idea that you have, or they don't trust that you know what you're talking about, you don't get angry. You don't get uproared. You actually smile on the inside because you realize, I'm grateful that no one sees my vision, because that makes it 10 times more worth it. That make it 10 times more worth it. That makes it 10 times more worth the fight. In order to see it, you have to believe it. How can you believe something that you can't see? And how can you achieve something that you don't believe? So work on that, and work on touching more grass, and work on getting out of your head and allowing things to get in your way. And this way you can get out of these negative spaces that you've put yourself in, because you're worth more, you're worth greatness, and you are greatness. And if no one's told you, you are loved, and you are worth something, and you are somebody. I find myself needing to correct habits when I realize that I'm not getting a desired outcome and I'm not getting a desired response from myself. Um, because essentially, as said in a previous video, you are the creator of your reality. So you decide what you want and how to get it. But we get stuck on the how to get it because we overthink and we stay in our head again. This is something prevalent amongst everything in life. Stand in your head. But it's something that can damage your success, because you're only supposed to be there for so long. Okay, create, imagine, dream, but don't stay there too long, because the moments you're using to overthink and to stay in your head, you could use that time to create. You could use that time to do, and you could use that time and that mind space for your future endeavors and thinking about what's to come next, to prepare, not to overthink it, to understand that there are next things coming. As I prepare for them, I will be successful. I enjoy being out here and taking time away from being in my four walls in my room or in my home every day. Tell me if you relate to any of the things I said in this video. I would love to hear some feedback. And thanks for watching. And I hope y'all have a great rest of y'all's day.